Yes, y'all, this is what we're doing today. This sweet Boozin bourbon chicken is ready for the table. I tell you all, it's an amazing dish, and I'm so glad to have traveled here today with this chicken. So I invite you all, give this a try today, and I can guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Okay, let's get over here on the counter and get this recipe started. Okay, on my cutting board here, I have this beautiful chicken breast here. And what I'm going to do is I'm cutting it into about 1-inch pieces, like so, and getting them in my bowl. And you notice I'm using my glass cutting board today because it's non-porous, my Boozin food board. And I don't want to use my wooden board because I don't want the bacteria of the chicken juice in there. So anytime I'm cutting up meat, I use a glass cutting board or a plastic board. So basically I'm just getting this breast cut up here. And once this gets all cut up, we'll move on to the next step. And I'm using 4 pretty nice size chicken breast here. So I got 4 of them that I'm using for this bourbon chicken. Get it all in the bowl, and then we're moving on to the next step. Okay, I got my hands all wiped up from touching that chicken because I'm not trying to spread any kind of bacteria, you know. So now what we're going to do with this chicken breast, we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch here. Okay, you know cornstarch makes chicken have that crunch to it. And now I'm going to put in ½ teaspoon of salt and about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, just some ground black pepper here. All right, and we're just going to get that tossed up. And after we get this all tossed together here, we're going to move over to the stove by putting a little bit of vegetable oil in our skillet, get it all heated so we can get this all fried up here. Okay. You see, it's all dry. It's just dry. I don't have any wet pieces in there. I'm tossing everything. See, it's dry. Okay, now we're going to move over to the stove. Now I have my skillet getting hot there, and what I have in here is about 2, well not about, but I have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. A little bit of vegetable oil heating in here. And what I'm going to do now, and I have this on a medium heat, what I'm going to do now is add a piece of chicken here. And when you get 1 piece in there and it sizzles, okay, pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to put half of my chicken in here because I do not want to overcrowd my skillet because I want this to brown evenly. Some of these pieces are a little big here, so I'm going to cut those a little bit smaller. Because actually that one is a little bigger than what I want, but that's okay. We'll get it all browned up. So we're putting half of it in here. Oops. And we're going to let this go for about 3 minutes on one side, and then I'll turn it. So that's been about 3 minutes on that side, and you see, this is the brownness that we want. So I'm just going to start turning my pieces. And after I get them all turned, I'm going to let it go for 3 minutes on the other side till I get that same crisp brownness. So this has been going for about 3 minutes, for about 2 minutes on the other side, and it's brown, right? See that? So now we're going to go ahead and take this half of the batch out and put it onto my little plate back here. And then we're going to add 2 more tablespoons of oil to this so we can fry up the next half of the batch in the same skillet. And I tell you, this is a greasy mess on your stove, because we don't want to cover it, because we don't want to lose that crunch per se, but keep your sponge nearby so you can get all of that up. So now let's go ahead and add 2 more tablespoons of oil to the skillet. We'll let this warm up just a little bit, and then we'll be ready to add our next half. Now we'll add the other half of our chicken. Let me see. No, that's not hot enough for me yet, so let's give it just a second. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the other half of the chicken here. Looks like I might need to do this in 3 batches, because I'm using my medium-sized skillet here. So, and I don't want to overcrowd it too much. And I have about, you can see, about this much left. So I think I'm just going to put that in another batch and just let this go this way without being overcrowded. All right, so 3 minutes, and then we'll turn it over. Okay, we're taking out the second batch here. You see it's all browned up. And after this batch, I'll wipe down this greasy stove and put the last little bit of it in there. And I don't think I'm gonna need any more oil. And you don't want to over fry this chicken breast, because you don't want this chicken to be dry. So take it out, you know, when you see that it's brown and it's white in the middle, and that's why, you know, we cut it into small pieces so it could get done in the middle. All right. So last piece is going in. Now we'll remove the last of the chicken. As you see, it's brown. Brown on both sides. Now while our skillet is hot, we're gonna go ahead and add some, my hands all over it, garlic. Just a teaspoon of garlic, or if you're cutting it, 2 cloves. So that's all we're gonna go for a second there. And we're gonna move this around until it becomes fragrant. So just a second or so. And turn your skillet down. Do not want to burn your garlic here. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my water. I'm using 1 cup of water. I'm trying to heat up a little bit there. 1 cup of water. And I'm going to go ahead and add my apple juice. And I'm just using, y'all, this apple juice right here. I tell you, this is the best apple juice in the world. They ain't paying me to use their name, but this is the apple juice I drink. So this is a 1/2 cup of apple juice. And I'm going to bring this up, the heat up on this a little bit before I add the rest of my liquids here. Okay, you see those bubbles? I got my heat going there a little bit. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a couple more of the ingredients. You know we got to put our booze in there. So I'm just using a little bit of this bourbon right here, the Jim Beam. Okay, y'all, my battery pack wanted to go down on me a little bit there. So I had to change out that battery pack. But when it stopped, I hope that it included this part right here. I had to add a 1/4 cup, a 1/4 cup of bourbon, because you know we're going to keep it boozing up in there. I don't know why it looks a little blurry, but we're okay. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and add a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. I'm going to add 2/3 cups, and this right here I'm using liquid aminos, but feel free to use soy sauce if you have that. But I like liquid aminos. It's a little bit more healthy for me. And if you're going to use soy sauce, use a low sodium soy sauce. Okay, so we got that in there, going a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in my ketchup. What I'm using right here is a 1/3 cup of just some ketchup. Just a little ketchup. And this is a 1/3 cup. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna go ahead and add my apple cider vinegar. Is there a glare on here, or is that just me? Okay, so there's my apple cider vinegar, and that I'm using 2 tablespoons. Okay, and we'll go ahead and bring the heat back up on this. Let this go just a little bit before we add the rest of our ingredient. Okay, I brought the heat back up on that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add, this is a cup of light brown sugar. And the last 3 ingredients right here, well, not the last, but the next 3 ingredients, I'm using a little ground ginger. And this is a 1/2 teaspoon. I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Ooh, I need to move that around a little bit. Okay, yeah. Here we go, 1/2 teaspoon. And a 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes here. I'm going to move this around just a little bit. Make sure I got those lumps of that ketchup moved around in there. Everything kind of smooth before I add my chicken back. I'm going to turn the heat down on this just a little bit. And I'm just going to keep moving this around just a little bit till I get that ketchup. There it is. So now I want to go ahead and add my chicken back into this mixture. And let it continue to cook. And this is going to cook about 15 or 20 minutes until I can see that the bourbon mixture is reduced by about half. And we're not going to cover this either. Okay, we're coming to the home stretch. So about the end of this bourbon chicken, and it has been cooking for about 20, maybe 25 minutes, and it has been, as you can see, the sauce has been reduced because it started up here, and you can see it's down here by now. So it's been reduced a little bit. It's a little bit thicker, but what we're going to do now is what thickens it on up. I have in this bowl, I put in a tablespoon of my cornstarch, again, into this little bowl with a tablespoon of water, and then I shake it up here to make a little slurry, and then we're just going to pour this into this mixture, into our bourbon chicken here. I'm going to stir it just a little bit, and we're going to let it continue to cook. And what you're going to notice pretty quickly, minute or so, this liquid is going to thicken up even more so than what it is now. And now we're going to turn that heat off under there, and this bourbon chicken is ready. Look how thick the juice is in there now. It coats your spoon very well. Okay, so I'm going to let this cool for just a minute, and then y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to be eating some bourbon chicken, and I invite you all to have you a good degreaser on your oven, because this is a when the chicken is frying, I mean, this grease goes everywhere. But now it's over. So now we'll let this cool, and then we'll plate it up. Well, y'all, it looks like our job is done today. We got this Boozin bourbon chicken done, and my, in record time, because I'm hungry and you probably are too. So I invite you all to give this wonderful Boozin dish a try. It's one that you know you'll see anytime you go into the mall. But guess what? You don't have to go to the mall to get it anymore. You can make it right at home. Well, I've already made it, so I'm now nothing left to do but go on and eat it. So here we are, my dinner, y'all. I got me a little bit of a shrimp fried rice over here that eats so well with this bourbon chicken. And I'm just gonna go ahead on and get into it. Y'all, this takes me back like I'm sitting right in the center of the mall, just eating. Just took me there. So anyway, give it a try. Cause it is that kind of good.